Folks, this place, obviously I'm heading towards Bam and heading towards the border to Pakistan, and now tourist sites aren't as common, but this place is of real interest because this actually is old-fashioned refrigerator, freezer. They used to make these constructs to put things in to keep them cool. So there would be passages and places that you could go inside and keep things stored so that they stayed cold. I think we can see a little passage there behind the bench. I can't go in because it's now just for visual purposes rather than an active refrigerator. You know, most people have modern appliances now, so that's not something that they need. But in the old-fashioned times, a long time ago, these structures, which were made out of mud and straw, would keep things inside, maybe grain, maybe other things, cool. And that's what these were. So they've kept this intact, I think, because this little town hasn't much by way of tourist attractions, but this is one of them. As I may have mentioned before, now it's more about getting to Pakistan. The cities that we pass through do not have much by way of tourist attractions, but whatever they do have, I will try and visit. Other than that, it's getting hot, and I mean really hot. I was just checking the temperature gauge of the motorcycle. It's good, but my own temperature gauge tells me that I'm definitely in something that's over 42 degrees centigrade, that is.
Folks, now we're on a road that has hardly any traffic. I mean, just have a look. Other than the pylons, I'm all alone. Well, I guess I can be cheesy and say I have you guys with me. I know that's so cheesy, isn't it? Oh, I always say small things please small minds, and I have a very small mind. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Let's hit the road.
So after pursuing some off-road riding, which the bike did perform reasonably well on, not really well, but fine enough to get me to this place. This is Detour Castle, which overlooks this date orchard. Very attractive in this barren land, I can tell you. A little bit of greenery does give me a little bit of pick-me-up. I thought I'd venture in. It's a little bit of a hike, especially when you're hiking in motorcycle boots. The gradient is steep, and inside you've just got remnants of the walls. You have to use your imagination to see what this would have been in its splendor back in the day when fully intact. Let's just have a look. Is the bike still there? I've left the keys in the ignition. Yep, it's still there and there's no one around. So I'm good for another 5 minutes, I think. I have to tell you that this bike has made me feel that he is truly my mechanical brother. Right, let's head down. Steep, it's probably around about 45 degrees, which is pretty steep if you're not wearing hiking boots. But I'm trying to see each and every site that I pass through or that sits in the cities that I visit, because now, as I said earlier, tourist sites are few and far between. Look at that gate. I wonder how that would have been attached to this castle. It would be lovely to see this all intact if we go back in time. Right, Bikey, you did well. You stayed here whilst I walked all the way up there and back again, and I'm sweating like an animal which I won't mention. Right, shall we make tracks? I know you're enjoying the view from there, but I'm needing something cool. An ice cream maybe. Oh, a room with aircon. The next destination, folks, is that castle there, known as Bam Citadel. It is probably one of the oldest citadels in Iran. Shall we try to take a closer look? Welcome to Bam Citadel. Now, from here it looks as though this is really well maintained, but the truth of it is in 2003 Bam had an awful natural disaster. It had an earthquake that literally destroyed the city. I believe more than 70% of the occupants perished.
So I have to tell you a little story. I came here to take video footage of this castle, but I dropped my phone, and thankfully I met some wonderful people. As usual in Iran, we seem to find lots of wonderful people, and they helped me get their phone repaired. But one of the guys who helped me said he wants to take me to his English class. I visited that, and I met some wonderful students, and even the teacher was fantastic. A great little experience, and I hope to come back to Bam to see those very students again. But this is the castle. I can only show you this, but tomorrow maybe on my departure I might show you something a little more substantial, the innards of the castle, maybe. Well folks, this is Bam Citadel. I did come here last night and I did try to record something, but now I'm showing you in daylight. Alas, I won't be able to enter inside because I have to get to Zahedan and then tomorrow Pakistan. So time is of the essence, and hopefully on my return leg I will have more time to enjoy some of these sights.
Time for me to call it a day, but one thing I will say is, man proposes, God disposes. You'll find out tomorrow what that means. Anyway, take care.